5 News This Morning starts now.
Rogers School District leaders providing an update after their central office suffered damage from a fire over the weekend. The latest details coming up.
And for today, it's going to be a gorgeous day out there. Excuse me, high temperatures in the low to mid 80s. A few clouds out there, otherwise plenty of sunshine, but it does warm up and get stickier later this week. We'll talk more about it coming up.
4 officials in Oklahoma announced plans to step down. The state attorney general is bringing allegations against one of those names.
And a live look outside in Fort Smith this morning. Good morning to you there, 6:30 on this Tuesday.
All right, thanks for waking up with us. I hope you're off to a great start. Denny here has good news because I kind of feel like whether you're fall, whether you're summer, you're going to like the weather either way. There's something for everybody.
Yeah, something for everybody today. Today, if you'd like that fall start and summer kind of finish, that's what's going to be like for us today. But it's going to be more of a summer start, summer finish by the end of this week as humidity and warmth is on the rise. Right now on satellite and radar, pretty quiet. Just some clouds moving off to our east. And so we're seeing that blue sky, or let's just say orange skies, that sun's rising. That sun rising in about 15 minutes. We're seeing plenty of sunshine eventually once that sun does rise. Current temperatures out there right now, we're seeing pretty much in the low to mid 50s, a couple upper 50s in the River Valley. So again, pretty similar to what we saw yesterday morning. Things are pretty comfortable, a little bit cooler than normal, about anywhere from 5 to close to 10 degrees below normal. So as you head out to the bus stop or just heading off to work, temperatures will be in the 50s with mostly sunny skies, maybe a stray shower or two. Otherwise, we will see those temperatures in the 70s with plenty of sunshine. Then as we're heading home, maybe a few clouds, otherwise temps in the 80s, feeling very comfortable and very nice as we're heading through the rest of our Tuesday. What we can expect for the rest of the week, those 90s will return starting tomorrow. Maybe a little bit of a spotty shower here and there, but most of us stay dry for much of the week. It's looking like that summer feel will be here soon. We'll talk more about that coming up in your full forecast. Now take a live look at traffic on this Tuesday morning. Take a live look along Highway 412 at the Illinois River. You can see that orange in the background there as the sun is starting to rise on this Tuesday morning. Should be a beautiful day today. So we'll have the full forecast coming up in about 15 minutes. Joe and Tiffany.
All right, thanks for that, Danny. Well, this morning we continue coverage on the proposed prison project in Franklin County.
The Arkansas Legislature's Joint Performance Committee will meet today to discuss a complaint against the project, which the meeting now set for 1 o'clock at the Capitol. Officials from the governor's office, the Board of Corrections, and Gravel and Grit, a group opposed to the prison, are all scheduled to speak. Critics say that it comes with unrealistic costs and unanswered questions. State Senator Brian King says he has pressed for answers from Veneer, the state's contracted project manager. And after months, he says they've agreed to meet with him and other state officials.
You have to wait months to get down to threatening. How can you trust anybody? I mean, realistically, like I said, put yourself in a homeowner or business situation, build a building with a contractor that won't answer your questions, but yet keeps sending you a bill that you're paying every month and they won't even meet with you.
Well, that meeting with Veneer and Corrections leader is still being scheduled. Meanwhile, Sarah Moore with the Justice Reform Coalition says that lawmakers should be looking at alternatives that address overcrowding.
And we're following developments in the case against Grant Hardin. He's a man convicted of murder and rape in Benton County and now charged in a prison escape that happened earlier this year. Police arrested Hardin after they say that he was on the run for about 2 weeks. On Monday, his attorneys filed motions to request that all statements made by Hardin be suppressed in the case. They did not specify what he said in the statements and argued that the burden of proof is on the state to prove that Hardin knowingly made the statements. The next hearing is scheduled for October 21st. Arkansas State Police have revealed the identity of the man who died after a standoff with Fayetteville police. Officers reported that Brandon Poulter started shooting at police from an apartment and died after an exchange of gunfire on Sunday. No law enforcement officers were injured. Arkansas State Police will be handling this investigation into the shooting at the request of the Fayetteville Police Department. Well, district leaders and administrative staff with Rogers Public Schools are now relocating to a temporary building.
Which comes after a fire damaged their central office over the weekend. 5 News reporter Jacob Luthi joining us live from there with the latest. Good morning, Jacob.
Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Tiffany. Look, Superintendent Dr. Jeff Perry says that the rooms where this fire started are barely recognizable. He said that while the fire was contained to about 3 offices, the rest of the building suffered extensive water and smoke damage, obviously from crews putting out this fire. This leaves a lot of administrative staff displaced. Now go ahead and take a look at the video on your screen. This is the fire that started over this weekend. The building is where the entire administrative staff and leadership works for the school district, as well as where school district board meetings are held. Dr. Perry says the fire broke out around 10 a.m. Saturday morning at the Rogers Public Schools Central Office, with damage mostly limited to this western section of the building. The Rogers Fire Department responded quickly, containing the fire and preventing injuries. The building was unoccupied at the time. Dr. Perry says the fire likely started in an electrical outlet within the wall and with no signs of negligence involved as of right now. He says daily instruction and operations are not affected by this fire and adds that the district's work does not stop.
We got a job to do, and we've said multiple times that our job is to serve the people within this community. Our job is to make sure that staff and students have what they need to teach and to learn. And so for us, that particular situation doesn't change any. We can do that from here, we can do it from a tent, we can do it from the central office. And so for us, we just go about our job making sure that we're taking care of folks.
Now the staff began the moving process towards the former technology building, which is located just adjacent to this building. This main central office is going to remain closed for several weeks, and parents and staff that are looking to get in touch with staff here, they're asked to call or to email. Also, the recovery process is expected to take months. But for now, we're live in Rogers, covering news where you live. Jacob Luthi, 5 News.
All right, thanks for that, Jacob. Well, another news, 4 high-ranking Oklahoma State leaders plan to resign from their jobs. Secretary of State Josh Cockcroft, his deputy, Natasha Rose, OMES Director Rick Rose, and Evan Brown with the state's Economic Development Office reportedly plan to step down within the next month.
No reason was given for the resignations, but on Monday, State Attorney General Ginter Drummond released a statement saying that he reported allegations of improper conduct by Rick Rose to Governor Kevin Stitt late last week. Well, in the letter to Governor Stitt, Drummond wrote that Rose refused to process the lawful purchase of vehicles that his agency need to perform their jobs. Drummond added that he believes Rose's resignation is related to the information that he provided to the governor in last week's letter, though it's unclear if the other departures are related to the allegations Drummond brought against Rick Rose. Happening today, people in Fort Smith can share their thoughts on a proposed expansion at Ebbing Air National Guard Base. An in-person hearing will take place at the Fort Smith Convention Center at 5:30 this evening. Now, the project would expand the pilot training center, which is part of the military sales program. The Department of the Air Force has released a draft statement about possible environmental impacts on the expansion. Well, overnight, the House Oversight Committee released hundreds more pages of records from the estate of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. They include a message to Epstein allegedly signed by President Trump. The president denies pinning the message, which includes what appears to be the outline of a woman's body. Democratic members of the U.S. House Oversight Committee say that the message was contributed by Trump in a book for Epstein's 50th birthday in 2003. The existence of the message was first reported in July by the Wall Street Journal. Trump sued the paper for defamation and denied writing it.
But I'm not a drawing person. I don't do drawings of women, that I can tell you.
Well, last week, women who say that they were Epstein's victims spoke out on Capitol Hill, urging the Justice Department to turn over all Epstein files. President Trump has called the bipartisan push for more information a hoax by Democrats. Well, the Trump administration has launched new immigration crackdown operations in the Democrat-run states of Illinois and Massachusetts. The Department of Homeland Security says that Operation Midway Blitz will target the criminal illegal aliens who flock to Chicago and Illinois because of sanctuary policies. But state and city leaders say there was no advance notice or coordination from the federal government. And a top South Korean diplomat is in the U.S. today. The visit comes days after Immigration and Customs Enforcement detained hundreds of South Koreans at a Hyundai LG facility in Georgia. Seoul says that they might be able to return home tomorrow. Amy Kiley has more.
You'd be foolish not to think about this.
South Korea's top diplomat is in the U.S. today at a tense moment for relations between the countries. Foreign Affairs Minister Cho Hyun is visiting Washington as about 300 South Korean nationals are detained in Georgia. That's where ICE and other law enforcement raided a Hyundai plant last week. Korean Air says it could start flying home the detainees tomorrow.
ICE was doing right because they were here illegally.
An attorney for two of the detainees argues that's not the case for everyone ICE arrested.
Under the ESTA business visitor or the B1 business visitor program, you can come in and go to business meetings. You can do engineering oversight. You can do after sales service and installation, which is what these people were doing in the United States.
The raid is causing outrage in South Korea. Its businesses are investing billions in the U.S., much at the behest of President Donald Trump.
Obviously, they're going to have huge hesitation about investing in the U.S. if your employees are going to be treated like common criminals.
The Georgia plant is supposed to open next year as Hyundai's first U.S. facility dedicated to electric vehicles and batteries. Trump acknowledges setting it up requires workers with specialized skills.
We do have to work something out where we bring in experts so that our people can be trained so that they can do it themselves.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.